All right, we're back for episode 36 of the Idiot Circle. I'm Mike.
I'm Fred.
I'm Rob.
Hurricane Rob, how you doing, bud?
Trying to avoid it like the plague.
Your hair didn't avoid it, looks like.
Yeah,
though.
Jesus, we got the windy blow. Is that the windy blow look?
That's
Well,
the hurricane look.
Well, he's ripping on his hair.
Yeah. Is that real hair gel?
Is
that
real
hair gel?
Oh.
Or is that just spoogiments?
Oh, spoogiments.
Yes.
Yikes.
And Rob will tell a few
starts
friends.
right off with
so on and so on and so on. Yep.
No.
Yikes.
So you're in what? Gainesville, you said?
I'm in Gainesville. I'm only about 3 blocks from the football stadium here.
The swamp?
The swamp. But if anybody knows, Gainesville is far from a swamp. It's the most hilliest area in all of Florida. There's no swamp there except for the football stadium.
Yeah, that's a swamp.
And the home of Tom Petty, right?
Yeah, Tom Petty. Yeah, yep. They play Tom Petty music in that stadium like Michigan plays "Don't Stop Believing."
Oh
God. There's a dig. That's it. That was a dig on you, Mike.
Thanks a lot, Rob, you dick.
Yeah. Hey ho.
Wait a minute. Are both of you guys wearing Michigan gear this week?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's because
when don't we?
When don't we?
Never.
What do you mean never?
Fred, you always have the fist bump hat from Warwater. You have a lot of hockey stuff. You always have Lions stuff.
I've worn the Michigan jersey.
Yeah, I think you might want to go back and check a few of those episodes.
Check a few of the episodes.
I'd like comments from our 3 fans to correct me to make sure.
If they spend all day doing that,
I just think you guys are doing it because you're finally 4-0 in the first time in 20 years.
No, you mean the first time in 2 years because they were last year too? Knucklehead.
Yeah.
Listen, Mr. Notre Dame, Mr. 2-2.
We got. Yep, and we got to play UNLV. Tough game.
We don't have a losing record. That's all I can say.
Well, you will after this week. You're playing BYU.
Well, that's a nice little segue. Let's talk about the team in this state that has a losing record.
Yeah. How about it? Sparty.
Central Michigan, right?
Well, they do actually have a losing record.
They do?
But they're playing.
They play the tough teams.
No, they're playing a tough schedule, man.
They are playing a tough schedule. Okay, so Freddie's talking about, I think, that little team that played little brother out there.
Oh, God. Oh, boy. He's using the little brother term again.
Oh, my God.
Yikes. Yeah. How about Sparty, huh?
Wow.
Well, let me just tell you, I was there this past weekend, and let me just tell you, I know. Well, it was Parents' Week. It was great seeing Caitlin. Taylor is engaged.
Yep. Congratulations.
So that
you and Taylor and Eric and everybody else.
You got to see Rachel too.
And Rachel and Jeff and Leslie were all out there, and we went out there, and I cannot believe how 1 minute it's Tuck's coming. Now it's like, that son of a bitch needs to be fired. They need to bring somebody else. And oh my God, I can't believe we're losing to Minnesota. Can't believe we got embarrassed out in Washington. I'm like, how quickly does that fan base turn on people?
It's about as quick as the Michigan fan base or the Notre Dame fan base.
Do you guys really think the wheels of the bus are coming off? Or listen, they lost it. I don't care what people say about Washington and Minnesota. Those are 2 actually good quality football teams. Washington is going to win some games this year. In Minnesota, they might take their lumps late October.
No, they're gonna win. They're gonna win that side of the Big Ten. They're better than Iowa.
I think they'll win that side of the Big Ten too. They'll play.
Now here's the thing, though, Rob.
Yeah,
it wasn't the running back. The running back didn't go off for like 300 yards. It was their quarterback that did all the damage. The running back, he was serviceable. He didn't do a lot. So I mean, the state's secondary is putrid.
It is.
I mean, they're probably going to be going around the campus and asking for people to walk on to play back there, because people are just going to have field days with them.
Do you think
that's been their weak point for a few years.
Washington's a sneaky good team.
Well, I mean, do you think Washington's game plan that early showed other teams what to do against Michigan State?
Well, I think that's what's happened. Not only with with the Lions, watching, and I mean, and what they did, they won that game last week. It was the coach that screwed that one up. They outplayed Minnesota. They're actually better than Minnesota. But as far as Michigan State is concerned, it showed a lot. Yes, it did. And not to mention the fact that now people are all saying, hey, you shouldn't be using the portal. You should be getting out. You should be getting more people who are coming out, that you're picking up through commitments and stuff. You're running all your team through that transfer portal, and you're realizing that some of these guys aren't going to be aren't working out. And I'm like, oh my God, 3 minutes ago you guys just called him a genius with the way he used the transfer portal. Now you're saying that it's coming back to bite him in the ass.
Well, I mean, State secondary has been weak for a few years, though. They've been getting torched for the past few years. So it's no secret how to beat them, at least right now. I mean, it hasn't been a secret for a few years. Their pass defense is awful.
Is it the big bomb that kills them? Is it over the middle stuff? It's always open, or is it a combination of both?
I think it's a combination of both.
I think once you get a wide receiver, anybody that's past the linebackers, they're susceptible. I mean, the deep ball's been a crossing routes, trips. I mean, it just hasn't worked out for him. I mean, Minnesota just manhandled them. It wasn't even. I mean, the game was over before. Mike Valenti said, the game was over before the pizza showed up at my door for the game.
They have. I don't think they get past Maryland this week. They have Maryland, then Ohio State, then Wisconsin, then Michigan. That's Michigan State's next 4 games.
Yeah, and
they'd be lucky to win one of those games.
Yeah, and that I would say the closest game, the best chance they have of winning one of those games is maybe Wisconsin.
Yeah.
But I will tell you that I'm calling it right now. Within the next couple of weeks, they will be firing Scott Hazelton, their defensive coordinator, and replacing him with somebody probably either just before the bye, or they're going to do it if they get trounced by Maryland. I'm calling it.
All right. Their bye week is after Wisconsin. I'm looking at their schedule right now. It looks like it's between Wisconsin and Michigan is their bye week.
Yeah. It's always convenient that they have a bye week just before they play Michigan.
We all said it was going to be tough for him to fill the shoes of D'Antonio, no matter what Michigan State people feel of D'Antonio. It was. D'Antonio created something they haven't seen there in a long time. Mm-hmm. I didn't think – I've never been a fan, but I thought he'd get a chance. But once you paid him after only 2 years, restructured his contract to $9 million a year, now he's got a lot of focus. And now it's really he does have to produce, or something is going to have to be done. And I'm not just talking about firing coordinators. Something's got to be done.
Well, that's the other thing that they've been talking about too, is the fact that, Valenti thinks because of what the facilities that they have, the structure that they have, and, if they can add different coordinators and stuff like that, and they expand the playoff, that he thinks that Michigan State can be one of those 12 teams that always gets in and might have a chance to have a run for a national championship. And I'm like, dude, there's no way if Tucker is going to be your head coach, there's no way you're going to win a national championship.
I think what D'Antonio did there, and I remember when D'Antonio left, or they got rid of him, or they didn't have him come back.
Well, he screwed him, and it was deserving, because all he wanted to do is help find his predecessor. And they said, no, we're good, we'll do it. And they said, so he goes, fine.
I know, but what Valeni and the talking head said when this transpired is, well, he left the cupboards bare. Well, he might have not recruited that last year like he had in the past, but you got to understand, D'Antonio never recruited high star quality athletes.
No. Nope, two or threes.
2 and 3s, sometimes
4.
Sometimes a 3.5, but he made them play like a 4 and 4.5. And so he never, when they talked about he left the cupboards bare. No, he created a culture, my word, how I like that.
Blah, 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 culture.
But something better that had been there for 25, 30 years. So it's not like he left the cupboards bare. They just needed someone to come in and do the work. And Tucker is a guy who doesn't want to work. He doesn't want to get on the road and recruit. His knock always has been he's lazy. And then the transfer portal helped him out last year. But also they had go back and look at it, was the weakest schedule of any top 5 conference team. They had only 1 or 2 ranked opponents they played until they got to the bowl game.
Yeah. Well, if they're paying him in sweat, or paying him to sweat, he's doing a great job. You see that guy on the sideline? Holy shit. It was like 55 degrees in East Lansing last week, and that guy is sweating bullets, man. Yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah, he was going all
James Brown. Have a heart attack or something.
The celebrity hot tub with Mel Tucker. Sometimes I break out in a cold sweat. 1, 2, 3.
That's funny, Fred.
Yeah.
That is funny. Holy shit, that's funny. Oh, so what about my bet, guys? You think that Michigan might lose 1 in the next 3?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think they beat. I think they beat Iowa 28-10.
Wow.
I think they take. I think the game in Indiana will be close for a little bit, but they'll take care of business there. And I think Penn State's a fraud. Every time Penn State comes into Ann Arbor, James Franklin ends up dropping his pants because he forgets to put a belt on because he's stupid. So
now let me put this scenario out to you. They're playing the last couple games with that really strong run game, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. You get one of these teams that's going to commit and says, we're going to stop the run. And if they do hold Michigan in the first quarter, maybe into the second quarter with very little yards, will he go away from that, or will he keep the run game plan going?
I seriously think that he is going to mix it up pretty well, because JJ has, he's a weapon. And I know last week he struggled a little bit, but the one thing that JJ said in his post interview was that this was the first time that since he had the surgery on his arm that he felt 110% that the ball got away from him. He knows he can sling it, farther than and without any pain. So they're not gonna keep him from running the football. Plus, Iowa's lost one of their big time linebackers for the year, so that doesn't help them at all. And we already know what Iowa's offense is like. It's vanilla, and obviously they haven't been able to put any points up. I think they're 221 or something crazy like that in offensive points, where Michigan's in the top 5. It's the only thing that they got. Only thing Michigan has going for them, I mean, other than that, I think they'll handle it, is the fact that they're not playing this game at night. It's going to be at noon.
Mike, what say you?
Well, I think that what thing that Michigan has this year that's better across the board is the receiving core versus last year. So if they do have to go to the pass, I mean, I think they're a lot better equipped this year than they were even last year. I don't think they lose anything at running back, especially if Edwards comes back, which they're expecting him to come back this week. Yep. So I don't think they lose anything there.
Yeah.
You know, you got a mobile quarterback, which we didn't have last year. I don't, you know, it's tough to play in Iowa, that's for sure, but they're not a very good team this year. They just aren't. And I agree with Fred. It's a lot easier to play at noon than it is to play at night in Iowa. Yeah. Those night games drive everybody crazy when they go to Iowa. But
what do you think is their opponent that is going to be able to show a possible weakness in the next 4 games? Michigan, an opponent to maybe show a weakness in the defense of Michigan, since they lost some defensive players last year.
I think Penn State's got the best chance of giving them a run. Honestly, I think they're better than any of the. So they play Iowa, then Indiana, then Penn State, then Michigan State. I think Penn State's got the best athletes. That quarterback's been there since Christ was a carpenter. I don't know, what is he, like 180 years old or something?
And he's not. To me, I think he's overrated. I don't think he's very good. Yeah. I think he crumbles under the pressure.
They have issues with him running, though. They've always had issues with him taking the ball and running it. So
the one big thing that hurts Michigan on the offensive side, they lost Eric All for the year.
He's out for the year?
He's out for the year. I mean, obviously you got was it Schoonmaker,
Bredesen.
I mean,
that Loveland kid, the freshman from Colorado.
Right. So I mean, you got that, but you have a 3-headed monster, even a 4-headed monster in the backfield if you really want to go that route as well too. You got Corum, Edwards, you got Stokes, and the other kid that was running the other day. So I mean, I'm not worried about the run game, not worried. And as far as wide receivers are concerned, we don't have a game manager anymore. We have somebody that can create stuff with his feet and with his arm. And I don't think I'm just saying right now that 28-10 is, to me, is a good score.
So Rob wants to take this bet. Yeah. Okay.
What's the bet though? What are we betting?
Who loses more games in the next 3, Notre Dame or Michigan? That's the bet.
That's the bet?
Yeah. Notre Dame's got BYU this week. No, next week. They're a bye this week. Notre Dame.
Okay, so next 3 weeks. Okay, it's a
bet. No,
you said it. I got it.
Next 3 games. Not next 3 weeks.
Well, they're going to lose on the bye week, too. Someone's going to do something stupid.
They're going to lose. Oh, boy. Then they got Stanford and UNLV. I mean, they should beat UNLV. If they don't, they got big problems.
Well,
so what's the bet? Steak dinner at the River Crab?
Next 3 games, we talking?
Next 3 games.
Yeah, let's do it.
Why don't we make it Lucky's?
Ooh. All right, we can make it Lucky's. So if Rob loses, he's got to buy both of us dinner.
Yep.
I don't think that's a very good bet for him.
It's not a good bet.
How about this? We just go to Lucky's when you get here, you dumbass.
Yeah. How about this?
He knows
if Rob loses the bet, he has to go on the dance floor by himself at the wedding and break dance.
In
front of everybody at the Mon wedding.
There was a good chance I was going to do that anyway.
I'm sure you.
If we lose, Fred has to do it. I don't have to do anything.
Yeah, right.
I'm still pulling for Utah.
How are they doing?
No, I don't think so. I don't think
they're 3-1 or 4-1.
Fred knows. Fred's keeping up.
Well, no, because
so you're saying there's a chance.
Well, all it is, as long as they don't finish in the top 5, I win.
They got Oregon State this week. Utah.
Yep. Who did Oregon State just give someone a run for their money too?
USC, right?
Yeah, USC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I don't think Utah's got to play USC, so you can count that as a second loss.
What do you think's going on over there at the Mon house? They getting ready for this wedding, Fred?
Oh yeah, hey, Tori has been just a basket case. So, we've been, I mean, everybody's been trying to talk her off the ledge. So things are going, but I mean, that's just,
that's part of the course.
That's gonna happen.
That's because the moms do all the work.
All right, now Kevin, Kevin is, obviously he's excited and he's, is nervous as well. I mean, I know that Evan's super excited, and I guess Brooke's been just walking around school with a big giant smile on her face for the last couple 2-3 weeks, because she knows that her special day is coming up, and it's nice to be that we're going to be a part of that experience with them, and it's going to be fun.
Fred, let's talk special days, because maybe that's something like the ladies like days. So you talk a little bit, well, and I'll ask you too, Mike, and I'll talk about my wedding as well. What Fred, what was, I mean, it's really for the ladies, right? I mean, it is there.
It's all about the bride, for sure.
You're there just to show up in a tux and say all the right things at all the right times.
You know what? The wedding, or my wedding was all about Nancy. I mean, obviously it was a big wedding.
Yeah.
Obviously it was huge. She has a big family. Our family's not that small either, but with our friends that we had and everything, that was a fun night. Let's just put it that way. They said over at that KFC hall that it was the most liquor and beer they've ever gone through in one wedding.
That goes without saying.
Yeah. Brad, let me ask you this: who was the bridezilla, Nancy or you?
No, neither one of us.
No bridezillas.
No
one like demanding and.
No, hey, come on, Nancy's like Switzerland. Yeah, I mean, she had the right people that she wanted for her.
Armed and neutral, is that what you mean?
Just basically very laid back. She was cool with everything that was done. She had the right people in place. My case, I had to make a couple changes in my wedding because of things that happened in the past, and I really struggled.
Bridezilla. Yep.
No, because I mean, because of the fact that she had how many people she wanted in the wedding, I had to find people.
Oh, you had to match.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have to make them up, but match up. Yeah, trying to match up with it was kind of hard.
Why did she have a lot of people on her side? Is that what you're saying? Or
I think it was either 7 or 8.
Jesus Christ, 7 or 8.
I think it was 7.
Damn.
Wow, were you just pulling them out of the bleachers at that point?
Like, no, I mean the people.
They didn't have Craigslist or Facebook back then to make a post. Anybody want to be a group?
I will tell you that I had no problem I had no problem with the people that I picked. Because they had a significant part. I mean, like, well, hey, if we were still in contact, the both of you would have been at my wedding for sure.
Well, I pretty much think if I would have never left Michigan for California, I'm sure I would have been in your wedding somewhere.
No, there ain't no question about it.
You might have had me in with a towel serving drinks, but I know I'd be working at you.
No, I'd have them work in the bathrooms getting tips.
Giving breath mints and stuff.
I know, and I got to ask this.
Yes.
Too. I know it happened, Fred. You did get up and sing, right?
I most certainly did.
And, let's hear it. What did you sing?
Your Song by Elton John.
Oh, you want to give us a little sample?
Okay, John Jansen. I'll do a John Jansen. No. But, you'll hear me singing enough in the future anyway, so that's fine. But Your Song was a significant thing because our first date we went out to lunch, and then later on we went out that night, and we went to dinner and
then breakfast.
No, and then we went to karaoke.
Wait a minute, Fred. It wasn't like you met for lunch, right? Thinking, hey, we'll just see how it goes. And then you liked each other so much you met for dinner. And then later that night there wasn't a little bong chicka bong bong.
Nope, Nancy, I was going very slow with Nancy.
No, she was going very slow with you, Fred. Let's be honest. I mean, come on. The woman always controls that scenario.
So. Yeah, we're the gas, they're the brakes.
Fred. Yeah,
right.
You're the
brakes.
Right. Okay. So you were good that first night. You said, no, I'm taking my time. How does a Freddie Windsor woo the love of his life? Tell us, how
this is awesome.
Yeah, how did you woo her? I want to know how you woo her. The flowers, poems, outside her window, all that shit.
Well, Rob, I really can't say because I'm not married to her anymore. So does that? I mean,
what does that tell you? In other words,
you said whatever you did, it was all fuck up. And really, it lasted 25 years, but it didn't make it. So I guess it was the right stuff that I did.
Jesus Christ.
All right, Mike. How about you? This should be good. I mean,
oh yeah,
this should be real good. I mean,
so let me say that.
That first sight, right?
Of course, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Weddings are supposed to be about the bride, but let's face it, weddings are about everybody else except the people that are getting married. You go through all this bullshit. Well, you have to invite so-and-so, and then who sits with who and all that other bullshit. It's like, come on, man. It's too much stress on the married couple. Let's be honest. It's not about, if it was about them, it'd be easy, and they're never easy. Planning these weddings, it's kind of bullshit if you ask me.
Well, not to mention the fact that you get a bunch of people that you you forgot to invite, thought you invited, but they didn't get an invite.
It's a no-win situation.
I got chastised so bad and felt super awful. There's people that there's a couple people that I didn't invite that I could have swore that I invited them, and I'll tell you right now, I think they really kind of never forgave Nancy and I for not inviting them. I'm like, sorry, and then there was other things that happened at the wedding that we came back, we had no idea about. We came back from our honeymoon all happy, and we had friggin' voicemails from people. How dare you do the blah, 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 blah. I'm like,
how dare you do what?
I don't want to get into the specifics. So,
it proved my point, though. It's about everybody else, or at least everybody makes it about everybody else.
Yeah. I love the fact that people assume things, and especially when you have no control over it, had no idea of it. Nancy's in the back. I'm in back in the rectory area, or where the altar boys get dressed and have all that stuff.
This is a family program.
Hey,
right. I knew you were going to say
it clean,
but I can't remember what the hell it's called. But back there with my best man waiting to walk out, and something happens that somebody thought we did something. I'm like, what are you talking about? I had no idea. Didn't find out about it until we got our wedding video. What happened, and it didn't sit well with Nancy and I. Let's put it that way.
So what happened?
Yeah.
I'll tell you off air. It is not. I can't, because the people that are involved are still alive. So I don't want to go into specifics.
Mike, how does a Mike Ward propose to his love of his life? What does that look like?
I made her dinner she was living in an apartment here, actually just down the road on the River Road. And I made her dinner, and got down on the one knee and
wait. You're going way too fast.
What do you mean?
So how did you decide you're going to do this? You dated her for how long? How long have you been dating?
Let me see. I don't know exact numbers. It was probably a year, I'm guessing.
Okay. So you were before the 2-year mark.
Yeah, it was definitely before 2 years.
All right. So
yeah,
you
pretty
just,
sure it was before 2
were
years.
you like walking down the street one day or talking to her on the phone or watching a freighter go by and say, she's the love of my life. I'm going to ask her to marry me.
No, it wasn't any great epiphany or anything like that.
Nothing like that.
No, I mean, when you're that age,
I can't even take Rob serious right now with that hair.
I mean, when you're that age and you're dating someone, that's kind of like the natural progression. So I don't know. I didn't. It wasn't like,
Did you go to
a brick fell out of the sky.
Hey, I'm going to ask Tammy to marry me, or did you do any of that stuff?
No.
You just said, okay. So you went and bought a ring.
Yes.
Okay. And then, proceed. You started cooking dinner.
Well, I made dinner and then,
raviolis.
I don't even remember what
Chef Boyardee.
No. I made like steak and baked potato and probably asparagus and stuff like that. Nice. I don't remember exactly what the meal was, but I made it and it was at her apartment. So it was just her and I there. And, I think it was during dinner. That's when I got down on the one knee and proposed to her. So
what was her face? Show me what her face looked like.
I don't know what her face looked like. I mean,
was she
surprised, of course.
Was she surprised?
Kind of like you just looked a couple minutes ago.
Or was she like, well, there's you, Mike, and there's a guy named Joe, and there's, I mean, I don't know. What did it look like?
That was probably going through her head, but.
Yeah. Well, I met Nancy November 11th, 1994. Went on a date November 12th.
He knows the exact dates. Look at this. Huh?
So how did you meet her, Fred?
Literally bumped into her at the bar. She was on the dance floor. I was sneaking through to meet Bill Nesbitt and Jerry Mason and Tom Fainer and a couple other people. And I had just got out of a crappy relationship where I was pretty much devastated. And I wasn't looking to meet anybody. And I was just coming through, and somebody was trying to talk her into playing basketball the upcoming winter. And she says, is this how you box out? And she boxed out and she hit me and almost knocked me to the ground.
What was it?
It was Pepper Joe's, which was Rochelle's back. It was back then. Yeah. And so we ended up talking that night. And the next day I called her and we went to lunch and then went to dinner. And then I actually invited her to my dad's birthday party that Sunday on the 13th. And that's where she got to meet Keek for the first time. Fortunately for Nancy, she got to meet my mom she knew her for 6 months before my mom was killed in the car accident. We dated from that time until I asked her in on Christmas of 96, or no, it was 94. I asked her to marry me on Christmas Eve, 1995, and then we didn't get married till 96, and then we got married in 97, April 5th.
See, Fred did it right. Instead of buying her birthday gifts and Christmas gifts and an engagement ring.
Well, no, trust me, there was a shitload of Christmas gifts under there for her. But we said, hey, I just said to her, I said, hey, let's just open up one gift from each other, because I mean, we got a ton down underneath here. And I was at my parents' house, and it was Leslie and Jeff were in the other room, and my dad and all that stuff. And we had just got back from the children's mass. Oh, yeah. I said, let's just open up one gift. So I opened up my, thanks. And I said, well, hey, you got to close your eyes. And I had her block her eyes and everything. And I went and got the ring and got on one knee. And I said, you can look now. And I opened it up. And she sat there and stared at me. And I said, you're the love of my life. I said, will you marry me? And she sat there and just stared at me. And I'm like, what's wrong? She's like, I thought I was getting pots and pans. I mean, I think I caught her so far off guard, but she fell to her knees onto the chair and basically tackled me, and I put the ring on, and she was going nuts.
Boxes him out, tackles him.
Yep. So
man, that's pretty physical.
It's rough. It's pretty rough.
So I'm curious, what did Keek think of her the first time she met her? What did your mom say?
She obviously Nancy knew that she had she had her hands full with my mom.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that she was the only girl that my mother ever really liked.
Really? So Keek liked her?
Yeah. I mean, I think she liked a couple other ones, but I think she really liked Nancy.
I mean, Kiki's words, if she liked her, would have said, listen, you little fucker, don't fuck this up, right? Something like that.
Yeah, and too bad she wasn't still here because that happened. So
yeah. That's good. So, and no, you proposed to her. She said yes.
Yes. And
was there a bridezilla in your wedding, Mike?
No.
I wouldn't think.
Are you talking about those? You talking about
what about mother-in-law Zilla?
Oh God, don't even talk about that shit. Yeah, it's like I said, that's the whole source of it's about everybody else. You know, you have everybody chirping in your ear about what you need to do and blah 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 blah. It's annoying. That's why, you know, I had said to Tammy initially, let's just elope. We'll go get married and then we'll come back and just have a party. And we were all about it. But then her family, and I don't think it was my family so much, but maybe it was, but no, you got to have a wedding and blah, blah, blah. And we got to invite all these people and blah, blah, blah. And it was at her, my mother-in-law's house on the lake in Holly. So it was a nice wedding. Yeah. It's a lot of stress. I mean,
yeah. Well, hey, Rob, we're not going to let you get off the hook.
We're not let you off the hook.
Yeah, we want to hear your story
all the gory details.
Yeah, without a doubt, no doubt. I mean, first of all, I'll just tell you, I was the bridezilla.
Of course.
And I don't think anybody. Right. And I'll get to that story in a minute. And
start from the beginning, right?
Yeah, I'll start from the beginning. So, you know, Meg and I met at work. Like Fred, I was coming out of a pretty bad relationship. I lived with the woman for like about 4 or 5 years. And it was just it just wasn't a good relationship. And I knew I wanted out. And so Meg and I started dating, and I'd say we dated almost a year and a half. And I had that epiphany moment, Mike. That's why I asked about yours, because I remember it so vividly. I was with some friends. We were playing golf. I'm not a very good golfer, by the way, but we were out playing golf. And I reached into my golf bag and I pulled out a pair of my ex-wife's panties that were in my golf bag because we had an amorous moment one time near the golf bag. So
near the golf bag.
So I
God forbid that golf towel didn't get used afterwards too.
So I saw it, I put them in the bag, and we're driving down the fairway, and I was thinking about it. I'm like, where am I going to find someone as perfect for me as her? So I went and bought a ring. And we were going out in this little village of Lakewood Ranch. We were going out to this little French bistro, and it was like a Saturday night, and the sun was setting. There's a lake there. It was pretty romantic. And I mean, this place is packed, bro. I mean, packed. Lots of people. And I just stopped, held her hand, got down on one knee, opened up the box, and all of a sudden people started gathering around. People are hooting and hollering, woo, woo, woo.
Oh, God.
And so she said yes, unbelievably. I don't know why, but she said yes.
Nobody knows why.
Nobody knows why. I mean, I still ask myself that question. So I don't even know why. So she's from Wisconsin originally. So we did a destination wedding at this club on Lake Superior in Ashland, Wisconsin. And I didn't have many people there, but she had her whole 200, family there.
The clan.
Well, we got fitted, my dad, myself, and her father. We all got fitted for, and remember, my ex-wife's father was 4 years older than me because my wife was born in the same year we graduated. So,
rock the cradle.
Awkward.
So rock the cradle of love.
Well, he and I were actually really good friends. So we get fitted at the Men's Warehouse in Sarasota for the tux, right?
I guarantee it.
You know the story, right?
Yes.
So we're there. We're going to pick up the fitted after tuxes up. They don't even have a Men's Warehouse in
Wisconsin.
They do in Wisconsin, but not up in Ashland, which is
Nova Scotia.
We had to pick. I had to pick mine up because I flew to Michigan. I was working in Michigan the week before. Stayed with my dad and his girlfriend that weekend, and the three of us drove from Michigan all the way up through the UP. Stopped at Marquette so my dad could try to find a Vietnam buddy that he hasn't seen since Vietnam, and then finish the ride into Ashland. We had to stop in I can't remember where city to pick up mine because they fitted me in Sarasota, but I was picking mine up somewhere along the way in Michigan. And my father-in-law was getting his in Milwaukee and bringing up. Well, we get there, not one of the things fit us, right? And there was a great big jacket that looked like, arms out like this.
So it was like a jacket that fit me and put it on you.
Yeah.
So Fred and I could wear it, in other words.
Skinny guy and a fat.
Yeah. Well, that was the other one. The other one was like this super tight one for me. And I'm wearing the tight one because I look ridiculous in the big one, but I look bloated in the other one. And everybody kept saying, "Wear the other one." I had that moment. I'm like, this is the jacket I'm wearing, and nobody's going to tell me what jacket I'm wearing on my wedding day.
Did they pull the tampon out afterwards?
He said yes to the tux.
So, of course, we got married in the same church that her parents got married like 30 years before. And then we had it at this, club restaurant right on Lake Superior, which was gorgeous. It was beautiful. But they had us, the three of us, my father-in-law, my dad, and I, squandered in this little room by ourselves. And of course, there was whiskey and beer in there.
Of course.
And it was taking a really long time to get this thing going. So the three of us were kind of getting a little,
poo-pooed.
We're getting a little poo-pooed there.
Oh,
and by the time they brought it out, I probably looked glassy-eyed. I was drunk. My dad, who never gets drunk, he was like giggling and laughing, and Gug, Fred Gug. You never saw a Gug like that, right?
Nope.
So then we get out there, we do the vows, we go to the place for the reception, and it's like one of these big wood structures, like log cabin things with big rocks, like for the pillars and stuff.
Is it a fucking yurt or something? What do you got going on?
Oh, like a big, you go like to a big ski resort and they have the big, it looked like that. Like
Stone Lodge kind of deal.
Stone Lodge. Well, one of Meg's bridesmaids was drunk and crying because she got in a fight with her boyfriend. I walk out, I see this happening. And she's sitting there, and one of these big rock stone things from the wall breaks off and lands and hits her in the head.
What?
Yeah. So when I walk by, she's fighting with her boyfriend and crying, and I do the I don't want to get involved, so I just keep going.
It's my day.
So
I don't have time for this.
I go to our room because the restaurant chalet thing is also hooked to a hotel, right? Yeah. We have the suite. Dave and Ruth were there. Fred, they had a room next to us, and so I go because I'm getting money to pay the restaurant for the whole thing. So I'm going to get the money, and when I come back, after I get back, I'm in the room, I'm changing, I'm doing all kinds of stuff. I start to walk back the same area where she was crying, where the thing fell on her head. Now there's an ambulance, and they're putting her on a stretcher. Now I'm thinking, my God, did this guy kill her, hit her, beat her? I don't know.
Oh gosh!
But then
it is Wisconsin.
Later, it was the rock on the head. So,
yeah. So the wedding was free because one of the bridesmaids got injured, right? With his
rock. I probably should have. I probably should have took that angle. Well, listen, the beauty of getting the wedding up there, when we were pricing weddings in Sarasota, Florida, it was $70, $80 a plate. Some places were $125. We had prime rib, chicken, shrimp, all you can eat at this beautiful restaurant for $16 a person.
Wow.
So I was like, yeah, let's do.
Oh, about check. That. Wisconsin, eh?
Yeah.
Wisconsin, eh?
Nice. Did you sing to her at your wedding?
No, because I can't sing. I'm not a singer, but I did. They gave me a mic. Everybody knows you should never give me a mic.
Yeah.
We were at the tables at the restaurant, and I did a toast where I was still a little liquored up, and I'm like, Gary Strite, stand up. My dad, and I'm like, David Tracy, stand up. And and I say all these nice things about how they really impacted my life, all that. And I was hammered.
Hammered drunk.
I was hammered drunk.
Nice. Wow, that's a cool story. It's a lot cooler than I.
Well, I'm the bridezilla. I mean, long and short of it, I became the bridezilla of my own wedding.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Would you ever get married again, Mike? Let's say something happens to Tammy or you guys.
No. Nope. Never. No, sir.
No. I think most guys are married for like 30 plus, 25 plus years. That's the running theme is, no.
Nah, I don't see a point in it.
No.
I'm sure the same would be true of Tammy. She wouldn't get married again. We've talked about it before. Like if something happened, we wouldn't get married. There's no point in it.
That's a couple. You guys talk about stuff like that.
When you've been married for 29 years, you talk about this kind of stuff,
Fred, I got to tell you this: the night we decided to go to the Notre Dame Wisconsin game, it was like on a whim. It was at Gars. He brings it up. He gets up to go to the bathroom. I book the tickets on StubHub. He comes back and I said, well, we're going. And he's like, going where? And I'm like, we got tickets for the football game. And he's like, okay, we better get airline tickets. So we get on our phones, we book airline tickets. We're planning all this. I'll pick you up at 7. We'll go to the airport. We'll fly to Chicago, go to the game, fly back, all this stuff. I said to him, like, just before we're leaving Gars, oh, man, shouldn't you have called Tammy and let her know? Asked her for permission. And you guys are doing it? He's like, nah.
That's just how I am, Rob. Right. That's how she is too. She's like, nah. There's no permission. Maybe a heads up after it's all booked. Hey, I'm doing this, but it's not how we roll, man.
Did she even say like, what? What are you doing? Or did she just go, yeah, okay?
Well, yeah. Well, actually,
she probably said, "Oh, that's cool. I'll have fun."
Yeah, she didn't even say okay or whatever. She said, "Have fun." That was the only thing she said. Have fun. All right, that was cool.
That's 20 some years of marriage right there.
Yeah, so I did sing at my wedding, and I played guitar at my wedding. So,
what'd you sing?
"Wonderful Tonight," the Eric Clapton song.
Oh.
So, there you go. How romantic is that?
You want to give us a little snippet of that?
No. You can sing it. Let's hear you.
I don't even know the words.
Oh God, come on, Rob. What song do you know the words to?
Well, how much is that doggy in the window?
I'm a little teapot.
All right, let's hear it.
I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here is my handle. Here is my spout.
We lost everybody. They just turned it off. They're like, holy shit.
Oh my God. They just had an epiphany of what kindergarten was like.
Oof. Is that what they call it? Epiphany?
or a Vietnam flashback.
Yeah, no shit. Man, PTSD.
Yeah, no shit, right?
So what hotel you at, Rob? Probably let me guess, it's something Marriott.
Yeah, it's the AC Marriott in downtown Gainesville. Yeah.
Nice. Are you working too or no?
Yeah, I mean, I had a meeting in Orlando yesterday, and then after the meeting, I was with my boss, and he was trying to fly. He couldn't fly out of Tampa, where he flew into. He's trying to fly out of Orlando, and then finally got out of Jacksonville. And I said, I'm not going home because I'm in the flood zone. I said, I'm just going to go to the West Coast, find a hotel and work in. Well, that's what I did, or the East Coast. So I didn't go to Jacksonville, I went to the Palm Coast area. And then I did a late checkout today, worked in the hotel room. And then about 2:00, I said, because it was going right for there, I said, I got to get out of here. And I said, I'll just go up to the 10, go over the 10, maybe go to Tallahassee. And I stopped just on the other side of the 75 on 10, and there was no hotel rooms anywhere up there.
I'm sure of it.
Yeah, I did.
Not even Motel 6.
Motel.
I didn't check.
So there's hotel rooms. Well, there's motel rooms, but no hotel rooms.
Yeah.
Not for a discerning traveler like yourself.
I'll do Hilton.
You'll stoop.
Yeah, way to stoop. Yeah, way to stoop down.
I'm a diamond guy on Hilton, so I'll do Hilton sometimes.
Hilton or Marriott. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Here, hold on. Doink.
Doink. So you're saying that the motel that's on the other side of the parking lot from the Waffle House, you're not staying at that place?
Listen, when I lived in Michigan and I was coming down to see Gage all the time, and I didn't have a place to stay, I would use points. Well, I had a lot of points, but I used up a lot of points. I stayed in the crappiest motel that you would ever imagine. And then one weekend I had Gage, and I brought him over, and I'm like, it was pretty dicey, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Hookers out front, the whole 9 yards. It was pretty.
The taped body lines in the floor in the hotel room.
Yeah.
But you have
a big old blood stain.
You haven't stayed at the Motel 6 by the Newark Airport in New Jersey, though.
No,
I have.
I don't like to stay at anything like the Indigo downtown New York, because what's the Hilton out by the airport? It's just like skeezy. That it's the big hotel right off the freeway across from the.
In Detroit or
in Newark?
Oh, in Newark. Yeah, I don't know which one you're. I never stay at a hotel by the airport.
No,
because I have a couple customers that are like half an hour or 45-minute drive from the airport, but I never stayed there. But my flight got canceled. I had to stay the only room that was available. Of course, I always get the late flight, so my flight was at like 9:00. So here it's like 10:30 at night, and they finally cancel it. And so the only thing that had anything was the Motel 6. Oh my God, dude, this place. I think I've described it to you before, but I don't know if I ever told Fred about it. But so I take a cab over there from the airport, or maybe it was an Uber even. I don't remember. But it's late. It's like almost midnight now. It's like 11:30. He pulls up to the Motel 6, and I was like, the sign was like not even lit. One of those deals, like the lights weren't even working for the sign. And I'm like, this is it. He goes, and the guy, he actually laughed. He was a foreign guy, barely spoke English, but he laughed. He said, yep, Motel 6. I was like, oh shit. I walk into this place, I get my keys, which were actual keys, not card. It was a key with a chain on it or whatever. I walk in. Before I even put the key in the lock, I look and like you can see a gap in the door. Like the door wasn't even closing all the way. I'm like, oh, fuck this. So I go inside, and of course, just inside the door, you can see that somebody obviously either kicked the door in or something, because there's a huge hole on the other side where the door handle is. They just smashed it, like huge hole in the door. And I'm like, oh, okay. And you look at the furniture, like the bed and the thing that I wouldn't even call it an entertainment center that the TV was on. It was some fucking like dresser, old looking dresser, all nasty. I go
cigarette stains on it.
Oh, all kinds of shit. Yeah. The walls were like not even painted right. It looked awful. Like it had the like the shop lights, the long, I don't know what they call. I don't know. I think I call them shop lights, but like the
fluorescent.
One of the bulbs is burned out in each light. It's just the worst. I go into the bathroom. The fucking the corner of the sink is like broke off. There's a chunk broke off of the sink. Like they had a cabinet at one time underneath it because they had like pieces of the. I'm not shitting you. This is the room I had to stay in. I didn't even look at the shower. I'm like, no, there's probably a dead body in there or something. So didn't even look at the shower. I put a hoodie on, put the hood over my head, tied it tight, laid on the bed, fully clothed. I was like, there's no fucking way I'm getting under these covers, sleeping on this pillow. It was nasty, dude. I don't even think I slept. I couldn't sleep. The bed sucked, and it was just loud as fuck all night long outside with traffic and police sirens and all kinds of shit going up. I probably got like 2 hours of sleep and had to go back to the airport.
And it makes you feel grimy when you're
oh God, not to mention the fact that when you walk in there and you look at the bed and you look at the furniture, were these props for a movie?
I didn't even take my shoes off, guys. I didn't take my shoes and socks off. I slept in my shoes and socks. I'm like, I'm not walking on this floor with just my socks even. Not doing it. It was nasty.
Yeah, nothing like getting MRSA from a carpet. Yeah, that's God.
Yeah, it was something.
Yeah.
So don't stay there. I don't recommend it.
The MRSA 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
They'll leave the the most disappointing part was, they
always say light on for you.
They say they'll leave the light on. There's no fucking light.
Fuck that.
Outside my door.
It was a candle lit.
The fucking mattress was on fire when I walked in. We'll leave the light on for you.
Yeah, we'll leave the light on for you.
Oof.
Oh, yes. Oh God, there was something I was going to bring up. Oh, Rob. What started yesterday in the state of Michigan?
Yeah.
We had the Red Wings play the Penguins, beat them 6-2, and they're playing at Little Caesars Arena right now against the Chicago Blackhawks.
Nice. I know Saturday opened up a couple teams. Lightning didn't play, but then the Lightning play, I think they played Sunday or Monday and they got beat. Yeah.
They're still the Blackhawks.
Yes, and they
still have the logo.
Yes, and they should, and they're not going to change.
Yeah, never say never.
They're not going to. Sir. They've already said it. There's nothing you're going to do about it. Just like Central Michigan's not going to change the Chippewa name like everybody else did in the MAC.
And the Florida State has the permission from the Seminole to be always the Seminoles.
Yeah, Bobby Bowden made sure of that.
Nice.
Florida State's for real, guys. I think they are pretty. I mean, they're not a top-notch team, but they hadn't been ranked in the top 25 since 2018.
Are they ranked now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're like 23rd or something.
I think so. Something like that. First time since 2018, though.
Yeah, they're one game from being not ranked.
That's right.
That's a big thing for a program. It was decimated.
Oh, God. It was a dumpster fire on top of a dumpster fire.
It was. Hey, Fred, what did Marine City do last Friday? I forgot to ask you.
They beat Marysville.
What was the score?
46-20. And the only reason why they got 20 is because we were playing our second and third strings most of the third and fourth.
So from that, first game, it looks like they've kind of righted the ship.
Yeah. Well, hey, Croslex had to go into overtime to beat Yale. So that was a barn burner there. So, yeah. So, I mean, North Branch is for real. Almont's for real. Yale's for real. Marine City's doing they're
still there.
How about Armada? How are they doing?
They have I think they either have one or two losses. I think one. I think they lost to Croslex.
We need to have Brady on at some point to kind of,
he would be more than welcome. Yeah. I will tell you this, and this is something, was it a week? They've played 6 games so far, I believe. And 6 games. And the running back from Cardinal Mooney has over 1,600 yards already.
That's amazing.
Kids. I went and saw him play. He's if he was playing at Marine City, they would never throw the football. They would just hand it off to him and Tetler.
What's his name, Fred?
I can't remember what his name is, but he's it's like Bierzinghausen or something like that. But I guess Kevin says he's a great kid, amazing on his feet. I mean, he has, and the thing is he's got nobody looking at him.
Yeah. That was my next question. And in that small of a program, can they be a focal point of anybody? I mean, is there
this kid's special?
But how do you get him? Because you hear about this in recruiting all the time. There's kids that are in these high schools that are even bigger high schools, but they're not a pipeline to some, like Marine City, right? Well, Marine City's kids that could play D1 besides the few they've had, but they're just not a focal point into one of these big programs that look into.
Well, this kid transferred from De La Salle to
Brendan Haisenleder.
Yeah, Haisenleder. That's it.
1,600
I just Googled it.
Games.
Yep. It's kids.
What's that average out to, Mike? 275 a game.
So would you say 1,600 yards?
Yeah, somewhere
6 games.
6 games. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that 250?
250.
That would be 1,500 yards. So about 275.
That's a lot of fucking yards. I mean, to average. That means he's probably had a game. He had 150, and he's had a couple 300-yard games.
Probably.
266.
Okay. So unbelievable. Fred, is that some kind of state record?
I'm sure he's. I wouldn't say it's going to be a state record because I know that there's some guys out there that have, gotten nearly 2,800, almost 3,000 yards in a football season.
Well, he's on pace.
He's on pace for that.
So I mean, obviously they're going to take an effect that obviously he's playing at the Class D or Division 6 or 7 whatever division that is. But the thing is still got to play. Still got
doesn't matter. Yeah,
doesn't matter.
You're playing against the same level of competition.
Hey, he might not have the same amount of yards as he does right now if he was playing at Marine City, but I bet you he'd have already probably about 1,250 yards, if not 13, because the kid's amazing. Him and Tetler are, in my opinion, are the two best backs in the area.
I think,
and the kid from Croslex.
I think maybe if we pull some strings, because I think we know someone over there at that Cardinal Mooney. Maybe at the end of the season we could get this kid on the show. Probably could. I'd love to talk. He's a great kid. He's a 4.0 student. Yeah. He's a leader. They depend on. I mean,
They went down. They played Our Lady of Lakes the other night and beat them like 41-8.
Fred, what does he look like? Is he a scat back, a lot of speed, big moves? Is he
he is. He's about. I say he's 5'9", 5'10" ish.
Yeah.
And built, and he has Barry Sanders type cutting. Type that that.
So he's Blake Corum,
or like he might have a kind of like a little bit like Blake Corum, but this kid also plays defense and he hits like a Mack truck.
So he doesn't shy away from contact.
No, matter of fact, he looks for contact when he's running too.
Really?
Oh yeah,
he does like to power over guys.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'd love to watch him play.
Well, you probably can when you come into town.
They're good. We got to see if they're home because I'd love to see something like that. I mean, that's amazing that he's running those kind of weapons.
That's why I was kind of hoping Kevin would be.
That's Tim Biakabutuka against Ohio State in 2000, whatever that was. For every Big Ten game, though, not just Ohio State.
What's Hassan Haskins last year against Ohio State? Just ran over him.
What was Haskins' total yards in that game? You remember?
I don't know, but he had 5 touchdowns.
Well, I know this. Tim Biakabutuka finished with 275 yards, but they pulled him in the third quarter against Ohio State.
Let's see what his stats were.
So
in that game, he outshined Eddie George, who ended up winning the Heisman.
He absolutely did. Yeah. He remember that game, Fred?
I was there.
Every time he touched the ball, he ran for no less than 12 yards.
No, I mean every time you just couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
28 carries, 169 yards. Haskins last year.
And look up Tim
5 touchdowns.
And look up Tim Biakabutuka.
Yeah. Tamunga Biakabutuka.
Yeah, and look at the game for a time of minutes he played in that game is amazing. Only to the end of the third quarter or halfway through.
Well, let me just tell you the funny.
November 25th, 1995, he rushed for 313 yards on 37 carries and a 31-23 victory over previously unbeaten Ohio State. 313 yards on 37 carries. It's like 9 yards a carry.
That's amazing.
Well, the funny part is the Red Wings invited a defenseman into camp with the last name Biakabutuka.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I saw that somewhere too. Huh. Interesting.
Yes.
Well, what else we got before we close this bad boy down? And we're on, what was this, the 36th show?
36.
Well, the good news is we know people are watching because, like I said, I had a boatload of people messaging me on Facebook going, hey, where's the show? Where's the show?
10 Folks, is a boatload to Fred. So,
well, that to me it is. I mean, and I think it's kind of funny is the fact that, hey guys, life can get in the way sometimes. And unfortunately we weren't able to do one last week because Rob got delayed and coming home. And, things happen, but we promise you we're not going anywhere. And, we're going to be inviting people back on the show.
He just cursed the show.
Well, the last couple times we haven't done a show has been my fault.
It's always your fault, right?
I know. I apologize, but,
well, we did a show. We did a show without you, and
we've done 2 shows without him now.
Yeah, the last one was
they're our most watched shows.
No.
No. But I will tell you the Brandon show that he's got well over between 150 almost
154 right now.
I'm bummed that I missed that show.
That I was bummed for that for you too because I know you had a lot of something. But the best thing is he's not going to be shy to coming back and doing another show.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we wouldn't have a problem asking Brock or Jeff or Tim or anybody else that we've had on the show. We can also bring back, Darren Letson, like you said, give me head up and we'll kind of throw it out there. I mean, there's people that we can talk about that we can get on there for sure. Huh? Melissa who?
From the fish company.
Yeah, Melissa. Oh yeah. Missy Fisher. Yeah, they've been a little busy, so I haven't had a chance to really talk to her, but yeah, she's totally game for the show.
Mike, how are we going to do the show when I'm up in Michigan? Do we do it separately?
I think we're gonna. I think we're gonna try to do it. Mike and I talked about that, probably trying to do something where it was live and we're all sitting at the same table at once with three mics.
Really? That'd be cool.
We can do something. We'll figure it out. We got the technology.
Live at GARS or something? What are we planning?
I'm going to carry microphones into GARS and sit at the table. I mean,
well, I would. I mean, some people would feel weird about it. I don't care though. I would do it.
Yeah. You're weird anyway. So
we know I'm weird. Yeah.
I mean,
all right, guys.
We can do it live from the two rivers. That wouldn't be
live from New York. It's Saturday night.
Saturday night. Yeah. So, hey guys, hey, remember you can friend request us on Facebook. Keep in touch through the Idiot Circle. You'll be able to watch it watch the show as well. Feel free to comment. You can also go on YouTube and give us thumbs up, or hit the notification button. That will let you know when we're having a new show. I've been lacking in going out on Facebook Live to let you know that there's new shows. I promise you that I will rectify that issue and get it taken care of, and we'll get this bad boy rolling going into the winter months. Give you something you guys to watch and keep you guys entertained like usual.
Go Lions!
Go Lions!
Go Lions! Go Blue!
Go Irish!